This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Stay tuned to find out more.
You know, my loyalty obviously lies with the people who gave me the platform, my first shot. So that's really where that line comes from, despite, you know, how things may have ended up. I'm always so grateful for those three people selflessly giving me a chance and not being intimidated when it was working out. You know, for another artist to give an artist a shot and then to see that artist get as big or bigger at the time, eventually, can be tough. A lot of people wouldn't be able to handle that. A lot of people who have artists signed can't handle that.
Falls apart.
Yeah, and Wayne, you know, to his credit, was the most selfless person.
No matter who you are, relevancy and dominance in hip-hop is never secure. Within a moment's notice, what felt once unshakable can enter a state of despair, and for hip-hop's beloved labels, their position is even more unpredictable. Formed back in 2003 as a joint 51-49 split with Birdman's Cash Money, Young Money seemed like a deal made in heaven. After all, it empowered one of the hottest rappers in the game to oversee his own artists and bring them up from rising prospects to major players. You had Weezy and Drake standing tall as superstars, while Nicki Minaj was an icon in the making. Elsewhere, you had newcomers like Gutta Gutta, Tyga, Jay Mills, all staking their claim as ones to be watched, while other YMCMB hopefuls such as Lil Twist and Lil Chucky and T Streets and Chanel were all more eager to demonstrate their worth. However, it's important to note that not everyone has the skill set or charisma of Lil Wayne, and when it comes to the YM roster, their signees generally fall into two camps. Either they're serviceable, at times impressive MCs who've yet to find the unique selling point that could turn them into a star, or they never really should have been on a major label in the first place. In the view of Gutta Gutta, that golden era of YMCMB came about almost by fate. As he told the Progress Report, all at once, Wayne had a strong stable that he wasn't necessarily trying to construct. And as we'd find out, he didn't really have the infrastructure to maintain.
I think Wayne had that energy around him. Like, he was just going for it. He was just attracting a bunch of energy. Like, everybody wanted to come. You know, it wasn't even like he was looking for everything. It was just coming. Drake's situation came to him. The Nicki situation came to him. Tyga, every situation just really fell in his lap. And then before you know it, we all was together in Miami, just recording a bunch of music together, and then that led to the first Young Money album.
Blessed with generational talents in the shape of Nicki and Drake, Gutta would go on to suggest that both of them came out fully formed as artists. However, what's clear is that when Wayne's signees aren't the finished product, when they come out of the gate, or have yet to tap into what'll take them to the next level, they can be left in the dust. Propelled into the mainstream with his feature on Wayne's iconic 6', 7', Corey Gunz had initially found himself in a fortunate position. Blessed with a 6 times platinum selling single right out the gate, Corey should have been able to capitalize immediately with his Young Money endorsement debut album. But from the tracks released in December of 2010 all the way through to today, that album has never surfaced, and in turn, any momentum that he could have had has long since expired. Now, he hasn't been spotted since the guest verse on Lil Wayne's Dedication 6 in 2017. Similar to the same path that artists such as Lil Chucky, Chanel, and Lil Twist have walked, Corey Gunn's father, Peter Gunz, insists that his son is still working, but Young Money has never given him the guidance nor the airtime to cement himself.
People don't believe when I say this. It's bittersweet, because I know how the industry could spit you up. 1 minute be hot and not be hot. And I never want my kids to go through that. I'd rather them have a steady life, a steady income. For instance, where is he now? He got 1 million songs, he working. He's still on Young Money, believe it or not.
So I want to take a quick break to thank our friends at Skillshare, a unique service that enables creatives to turn their dreams into reality, taking the knowledge and the know-how to the general public. Skillshare offers thousands of classes that'll provide you with the tools to make headway with your chosen craft, whether it be learning how to rap, make beats, or edit music videos. Skillshare's got you covered. In fact, we leveled up by finding out how to mix this video's music with the legend Young Guru, responsible for sculpting the sound of some of Jay-Z's most legendary legendary tracks. The famed engineer makes the secret to the pros more accessible than ever before. So what are you waiting for? Skillshare works out to be less than $10 a month with an annual membership. However, the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership and access to their massive learning library. Head over to Skillshare and start your journey now. Discarded by the industry and overlooked in favor of Young Money giving the ball to Nicki and Drake, among others, Corey's situation has been echoed time and time again, with signees both past and present, rendering what seemed like the prestige of signing with Weezy's label to be a non-factor when it comes to enhancing their career. Or worse, it's been a hindrance. To depict the scope of this problem, look no further than the words of TV personality and rapper Chanel West Coast. While her signing to Young Money raised many eyebrows when it was first announced in 2012, what's surprising is that her experience within the Young Money system was so limited that she sacrificed the platform and left to regain control of her career.
It's very complicated being an artist who has very strong passion about what they want to do creatively, and sometimes these record labels can get a little controlling with the creative process, and I don't like that. I like to do what I want to do. So I prefer to be independent. It's a little harder to get known that way, but I prefer to stay independent, and I'm just trying to do it on my own.
Either left to coast by rather than being primed for the big time or actively preventing from taking their career in the direction that they'd like, this goes some way to explaining how, in the case of artists such as Gutta Gutta, he still has 0 studio albums to his name even after 16 long years on a label. Generally speaking, this isn't uncommon in hip-hop, as when impressionable young artists find themselves on a major, they tend to lay themselves at the mercy of a record company and their superior knowledge. While for more established acts, their tenure as a Young Money millionaire doesn't tend to last very long. Case in point, Mr. Busta Rhymes, who voiced similar concerns to that of Chanel West Coast.
The reason why I left Cash Money was because when you have a view and you have a vision, and you've been in the game as long as I've been in the game, and you understand at this stage of your life, you have to see your vision all the way through. The more experience you got, the more clearer you are about what your vision is. So if I'm seeing one too many, just different perspectives, then I like to address it.
From these artists' perspectives, it appeared that the main issue which has derailed Young Money is that it stifles its artists and resists giving them the creative freedom that they desire. However, let's not forget that Young Money's business acumen and financial dealings has been under scrutiny for many years. Once, like father like son, Lil Wayne and Birdman's relationship was ultimately frayed by what Weezy saw as an unfair deal that downplayed how much money he should have made. And when he campaigned for more money, every member of the Young Money roster found themselves caught in the crossfire of a volatile feud that, depending on who you ask, nearly cost Wayne not just his label, but his life. In their 2015 lawsuit, Young Money maintained that they were supposed to receive $100 million in advance from Universal. Upon hearing this, Cash Money countered, claiming that they'd actually paid over the odds, and in the process, Wayne had failed to deliver on the label-slated schedule, releasing just 13 out of a promised 21 that he and his signees were obligated to deliver over the course of 7 years. With neither party willing to concede, Baby and Wayne's dispute led to one of the most long-standing Cold Wars that we've seen in hip-hop history, effectively derailing Wayne's career in the process as he slated for the release of the Carter 5. However, if Wayne was so concerned about getting equitable treatment, he should have taken a look at what was happening under his nose when it came to his young talent's deals. In the most infamous example, Tyga, who'd gained his freedom from Young Money after a lengthy dispute, revealed that he'd signed what DJ Booth has termed as the worst record contract ever, and detailed the issues that had arose from it to the Breakfast Club.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on a roll with Wayne, and he's recording Carter 3, so I'm just in the sauce right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then we did Bedrock, and was like, well, you got to sign. You want to get on? He's like, this is gonna be the single. I was like, all right, cool. So I signed. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think twice, because
you didn't have a lawyer or anything.
My lawyer at the time was the same lawyer that was representing Cash Money.
Oh,
so
that was their lawyer?
It was already It was already a bad
So
thing from
didn't have a
jump.
lawyer in that
Yeah,
case.
but you gotta think I'm 17 at this time, so I'm just like I'm 17, 18, so I don't really know nothing about lawyers, and then I'm just like cool. I'm rocking with Wayne. I'm on the bus with him every day. I'm having fun, so I wasn't really worried about it.
Expecting his label to line his pockets rather than take from them, Tyga, being youthful and naive, left them fighting for his fair share. And tellingly, when he branched out on his own and had managed to achieve a platinum album without so much as a label's assistance. Not limited to giving new artists, major label staple Omarion, who'd also found himself struggling to get off the ground with MMG, recalled his incredibly short stint with Young Money and revealed that it was a similar business-related deception that led him to sever ties.
So I signed a deal with Young Money. Basically, long story short, what happened was when I signed my deal, I was supposed to get my advance. And basically, within that time, my check didn't come. And that raised a lot of questions for me. You know, what kind of business was being done? So when my check didn't come, I was like, I'm out. Wayne wasn't like a boss. He was an artist. The reason why that didn't work out is because, you know, the business.
Unable to recapture the excitement that surrounded the label in the glory days, we've reached the point where Nicki Minaj and Wayne are the only two commercially prosperous artists left on the label. And while Drake maintains that his allegiances lie with Young Money and Cash Money to this day, it doesn't increase their bottom line at all. But even though they'd have every right to be resentful, Drake's comments speak to the loyalty that Wayne has instilled in his core team. In fact, Lil Twist even has the word tattooed on his face in Hebrew. Meanwhile, Gutta Gutta has spoken at length about sticking by Wayne through all of the chaos of the Birdman feud.
Just trying to be a partner, a friend to him, and just so I was in the trenches with him in the studio every night, recording, like everything was gonna be all right.
So where does that leave YMCMB today? Well, as of 2018, Lil Wayne is the sole owner of the label, meaning that from here on out, it's his vision and he'll have to live and die by his decisions without a big bad wolf to blame it on in Birdman. And while only time will tell if newer signees such as Euro, Vice Versa, Baby E, and Hoodie Baby have a hope of following Nicki, Tyga, and Drake's footsteps to stardom, we hope that Wayne will be able to learn from his mistakes of the past and give them every chance at the fruitful careers that those We Are Young Money era artists believe themselves to have in the Bedrock days.
We're about to put the compilation together with all the artists together on one album. That sets up everything for everybody so they could start coming out with their solo projects as well.